In Middle-earth, knowledge is often heavier than armor, and the deepest waters hide the darkest truths. Many have asked, what actually is the Mirror of Galadriel? Is it a weapon of war, a gift of prophecy, or perhaps a trap for the curious mind designed to ensnare the unwary? When Frodo and Samwise entered the Golden Wood of Lothlorien, they sought rest. They sought healing from the grief of losing Gandalf. But what they found in the deep green hollow was not merely a basin of water. They found a test that would measure the weight of their very souls. Today, we journey beneath the Mallorn trees to uncover the secrets of this ancient artifact. We will explore not just the magic that powers it, but the terrifying philosophy behind it. We will answer who made it, why Galadriel warned that it is dangerous even to the wise, and why the reflection it offers is far more than just an image. Step softly now, for we tread on hallowed ground. Let us first look upon the object itself. In the text, Tolkien describes the encounter with a specific, quiet solemnity. Galadriel leads the hobbits down a long flight of steps into a deep green hollow. There the silver stream issued from the fountain on the hill. At the bottom, resting upon a pedestal carved like a branching tree, stood the artifact. It appears simple, a basin of silver, wide and shallow. Beside it stands a silver ewer. It is not a mirror of glass or polished metal, as men might craft. It is a mirror of water. The mechanism seems ritualistic. Water from the running stream is poured into the basin to the brim. And then, the lady breathes upon it. Only when the water becomes still again does the magic awaken. "Here is the Mirror of Galadriel," she says. "I have brought you here so that you may look in it if you will." But is this merely a basin? To understand its creation, we must look at the creator. Galadriel is not a simple sorceress. In the undying lands of Valinor, thousands of years before this moment, she was a student of Aule the smith, the great Valar who created the dwarves and taught the Noldor the arts of crafting. She knew the secrets of making. She was accounted the second mightiest of the Noldor, surpassed only by Feanor himself. Therefore, this mirror is not a found object. It is a masterpiece of Noldorin craftsmanship, echoing the greatest creations of the elder days. Just as the Palantiri stones allow one to see across distances, and just as the Silmarils captured the light of the two trees, this basin captures the essence of water and light. It is an extension of Galadriel's own power, amplified perhaps by Nenya, the ring of water, which she secretly bore. But why water, and why silver? In the legendarium of Tolkien, these choices are never accidental. They are deeply rooted in the metaphysical history of Arda. Consider the water. To the elves, running water is sacred. It is the blood of the earth. It falls under the domain of Ulmo, the Lord of Waters, who was the only Valar who never truly forsook Middle-earth. Tolkien tells us that running water is almost always a sign of purity and memory. It is free from the corruption of the enemy. Conversely, stagnant water, dams, swamps, dead marshes, breeds evil and decay. The water of Lothlorien is the purest of all. It brings healing to the weary, as the Fellowship discovered by the Nimrodel. By using this living water, Galadriel ensures that the visions, however dark, come from a source of truth, not deceit. And then there is the silver. Have you noticed? The stream is silver, the ewer is silver, the basin is silver. Even the light captured within is the light of Eärendil, the silver star. In the deep lore found in Morgoth's Ring, Tolkien muses on the nature of matter itself. He suggests that Morgoth, the first Dark Lord, poured his malice into the very matter of the earth. But he was drawn to certain elements more than others. Gold, with its overwhelming desire and heaviness, seems to possess a specially evil trend in Middle-earth. It attracts greed, it attracts dragons, it carries a curse, but silver remains pure. Water and silver are represented as being almost entirely free of Morgoth's shadow. Thus, the mirror is constructed from the only materials that could resist the corruption of the enemy. It is a vessel of holiness in a war-torn world. When Samwise looks at the basin, he asks if this is elf magic. Galadriel's response is fascinating. She seems confused by the word. "This is what your folk would call magic, I believe," she says, "though I do not understand clearly what they mean. And they seem to use the same word of the deceits of the enemy." Here lies a critical distinction. To Galadriel, this is not magic in the sense of a wizard casting a spell or a trickster deceiving the eye. It is art. It is a working with the land, a deep understanding of nature. The enemy uses magic to dominate, to mock, and to destroy reality. The elves use their power to preserve, to heal, and to reveal truth. The mirror is not a television screen commanding obedience. It is a window, and like any window looking out into the storm, it requires a steady hand to open. How does it function? We can observe that the mirror operates in two distinct modes. The first is what we might call the commanded vision. Like the seeing stones of Numenor, Galadriel can direct the water to reveal specific locations or individuals. She tells us, "Many things I can command the mirror to reveal." It is highly implied that she uses this mode to watch the borders of Mordor, to spy on the Dark Lord, and to seek news of her allies. She likely searched for Gandalf, seeing only a grey mist. Not because he was dead, but because he had passed beyond the veil of the world and returned. This command requires immense will, a contest of minds between the viewer and the distances of the world. But the second mode is far more perilous, the unbidden vision. What you will see if you leave the mirror free to work, I cannot tell, she warns, for it shows things that were, and things that are, and things that yet may be. This is the chaos of prophecy. When left free, the mirror taps into the music of the Ainur itself. It shows fragments of the great song. The danger lies in the silence. The mirror gives no context. It offers no narration. You do not know if you are seeing an ancient memory of the First Age, a live event happening miles away, or a tragic future that has not yet occurred. Samwise Gamgee, driven by love for his home, looks first. The mirror, perhaps reading his heart, engages the first mode, showing him exactly what he feared. He sees the scouring of the Shire, trees felled, the old mill burning, his father cast out. This was a true vision of the future. But here, Galadriel offers her most profound philosophical warning. Some things never come to be unless those that behold the visions turn aside from their path to prevent them. This is the paradox of prophecy. If Sam had panicked and returned home immediately to stop this future, he might have been captured, the quest would have failed, and the Shire would have been destroyed permanently by Sauron. By seeing the future, one risks creating it. Sam, showing the resilience that makes him a hero, chooses the harder path. He accepts the pain and continues the quest. Then comes the ring-bearer. Frodo does not ask to see anything. The mirror reads his mind, his longing for Gandalf, and shows him the wizard. But then the vision descends into darkness. He sees the history of the ring, the sea, the banners of war, and finally the eye of Sauron, rimmed in fire, searching for him. Frodo knows then that he is not hidden. The enemy knows. Galadriel did not bring them there to guide them. She did not bring them there to give them tactical advice. She brought them there to test them. She showed Sam the reason to turn back, and he refused. She showed Frodo the ultimate terror ahead, and he stood his ground. The mirror was a weighing scale for their courage. But the greatest twist of this encounter was not what Frodo saw, but what he did. In a moment of absolute humility and terror, Frodo offers the One Ring to Galadriel. Suddenly, the tester becomes the tested. For thousands of years, Galadriel had desired a dominion of her own. She had rebelled against the Valar to come to Middle-earth to rule. And now the instrument of absolute power was freely offered to her. In that moment, beside her mirror, Galadriel faced her own demons. She saw a vision of herself, not as a dark lord, but as a queen. Beautiful and terrible as the morning and the night, she cried. She would have saved the world, yes, but she would have enslaved it in her worship. But she passed the test. She looked into the abyss of absolute power, and she stepped back. "I pass the test," she whispered. "I will diminish and go into the west and remain Galadriel." The Mirror of Galadriel is not merely a magical tool for spying. It is a revealer of character. It strips away lies and shows us who we truly are. It showed Sam his loyalty. It showed Frodo his burden. And it showed Galadriel her own limits. Sometimes, the bravest thing one can do is to look into the dark waters of the future and still choose to walk into the dark, trusting not in power, but in hope. Thank you for journeying with us beneath the trees of Lothlorien. If you wish to uncover more secrets of the Elder Days, subscribe to our chronicles until the next star shines upon your path. Namaria.